I don't think enough people realize how almost every aspect of their lives has been affected in some way by Western colonialism. Hi, my name's Josiah with Diversify Our Parks, and I am obsessed with the way that we talk about history in the great outdoors. And today, we're diving back into my series called The Tools of Colonialism, where in each episode we talk about the different ways that colonialism has affected the way that you look at and think about the world. Today, we're focusing in on Millerton Lake State Recreation Area, the use of dams as a tool of violence, and the current indigenous fight to tear them down. Our story begins in the Central Valley. Exploratory mining brought in the first white invaders to establish a town, followed shortly by an army fort of the same name, required because of the growing hostilities between the white invaders and the North Valley Okoots. After a large flood in 1862, the town of Millerton began to disappear. It wasn't until the 1930s that work began to build what is now called the Friant Dam, finally being completed in 1942. At first glance, the building of any dam might be seen as a major positive for any society. I mean, who wouldn't want more reliable access to water for agricultural and personal use? Unfortunately, though, that's not the whole story. With the building of any and every dam, there are far-reaching environmental and cultural impacts that are felt for miles up and downstream of the dam site. For instance, after the construction of the Friant Dam, riverside habitats and marshes were completely destroyed some 60 miles in both directions. So you might be thinking, okay, sure, wetlands and marshes being affected is bad, but how is this a tool of colonialism? Well, the answer to that question can be found in the water. Salmon have been in California's waterways for over 6 million years. For so many indigenous communities, where there is no salmon, there is no life, creating the perfect recipe for environmental, cultural, and physical genocide. Alongside the destruction of food sources that nearly ended indigenous people's ways of life, without salmon, the local flora and fauna are destroyed or severely damaged, erasing yet another facet of the indigenous hunter-gatherer lifestyle. But that's the thing about indigenous people connected to their land. They don't just disappear. It is something that I, as a white male with ancestry from across the Atlantic, will never understand what it means to fight for and protect the lands of your ancestors. And this is exactly what the people native to this land, along with other government and civil groups, did in 2006. After almost 2 decades of advocacy, countless hours spent fighting, all active parties involved came to an agreement to once again allow the flow of water into the San Joaquin River through the Millerton Lake Dam. More recently, the Yurok people of Northern California, after years of advocacy and fighting, 4 entire dams on the Klamath River have been removed in one of the United States' largest dam removal projects to date. Thanks for joining me today on a journey through Indigenous California, and I hope to see you next time.